God, she's facing to the left, and you put her with the glass in front. All of a sudden, you turn to the right.
Oh, turn to the right. Welcome to the satsang. Welcome to the satsang called Awake as Love, the essence of non-duality. I love me a little title. I'm so curious to see if I'm going to be true to this title today. Sometimes you just write a title to get people through the door. Headlines. But this moment is only ever saying the same thing. Awake as love. How sweet, before we get to the love part, to notice the awake part. Just notice right where you sit. I love how Byron Katie says we're either sitting, lying, or standing. Everything else is a story. But what is aware of that story? So, right where you sit, just as you are in this moment, just notice the vivid wakefulness of your being. Eyes open, eyes closed. Notice that in this moment, everything perceived is serving as the evidence of the awareness you are. Just as objects confirm the reality of space, and sound confirms the reality of a infinitely loving, listening, silent presence, movement, celebration, confirmation of the stillness it's appearing in. Not separate, not opposite. Just noticing the effortless, vivid wakefulness of your being, the aware part, awake part. Just as you are, with everything present. This is not something about that has anything to do with a realization or with a clearing of karma or feeling a particular energy or frequency. This is about what's always with you, regardless of the experience of lifetime, whatever your astrological tattoo is in this moment, whatever the conditioning, whatever the concept, whatever the whatever it might be, all of those descriptions, all of those definitions. I mean, how long is the story of you going to last in the fullness of forever and the vastness of infinity? A sweet a mist of a possibility, wondrous, adventurous, exciting, sad, pathetic, blah, all of the above. Just part of the full spectrum of this experience of mind, of descriptions. A lot of times, what we imagine life to be is just another way of speaking to mind. Wondrous. And notice in this moment, you are not just your mind, aware of mind, aware of its content, aware of the movement, aware of the flow of the emotional body, the currents, the changing, the contraction, the expansion, the I feel good, no, 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 and the nobody knows the trouble I'm in. Nobody knows. What a spectrum. What a spectrum. All the thoughts. I mean, who knows how many substances we've been enjoyed throughout our lifetimes? Everything from a little Coca-Cola to a little Coke and Cola to a little ayahuasca to Lily Boga to a little bump of this and a little bump of that. So many sensations, so many delicious opportunities, so many different ways to say I love you, so many different ways to say I am aware, so many different ways to exalt I am free. I am free. What a play of consciousness. Lila. Lila, 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 la, 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 la. Ay, pero que Lila más Lila más Lila más Lila más Lila. Ay, Dios mío, la Lila, la Lila, la Lila, la 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 la. La la Lila, la Lila, la Lila, la la Lila, la Lila, la Lila, la la Lila, la Lila, la la Lila, la Lila, la la. And even the insanity of this expression of satsang, I know I'm definitely not no Rupert Spira. Love me some Rupert Spira. He better do his thing. Definitely more popular, the more subdued, relaxed image of what we imagine stillness is, of what we imagine peace is. This also wild, untamed, free, all the flavors, peace now, allowing its divine, dynamic, energetic expression to come and go, come and go. For beloveds who may feel a little uh, discouraged that you're not showing up like an Eckhart Tolle or a Rupert Spira or a Nanda Mayama or this. No, we don't want you to be that way. The gift is you showing up as you. The gift is you showing up as you. How does this unspeakable, unnameable force live through you as your life, your way of saying it, your way of speaking it, your way of satsanging, your way of dancing, your way of making love? Something to be said about the diversity, the rich complexity, and all of it exalting the complete stability of being. Another way to speak to that is if we imagine that we have different objects that produce different shadows. So a book will have a book shadow. Buddha will have a Buddha shadow. All these, that sandal will have a sandal shadow. Doesn't matter what the shadow is. They each equally exalt and announce the presence of light. Every shadow, look for a shadow in this space, in this room. Every shadow says there is light here. I can't exist. I only exist due to the power of light, due to the benevolence of light. Every shadow confirming. If we focus on that's a book shadow, that's a gun shadow, this shadow's better than that shadow's more exalted than this shadow because that's a TJ Maxx Buddha, and this shadow's more better than that one because that's we're meeting shadow with shadow. But to get familiar with yourself as light, we relax our emphasis. That's what we do with our emotions and our thoughts. This feeling's better than that feeling. This thought's better than that thought. This story better than that story. This circumstance better than that circumstance. This thing. Thinking that if we finally get the mirage right, if we finally get this watercolored, what the fuck is this, right? Then we're gonna be at peace. Then we can relax. Then we can finally sleep good. Then we can finally be kind. I'm not going to be kind until the whole world wakes up. Or then that's just innocently overlooking that peace is synonymous with plain ass cracker of awareness. Peace is synonymous with aware intelligence. And what does that look like in our everyday lives? So, all kinds of shit be happening in this planet, Lord have mercy. All kinds of stuff be happening in our minds. And so I notice in my experience when things are shifting and changing and I'm noticing, oh Lord, there's a presence. and it all comes down to believing a thought that isn't true. So a circumstance will arise, and then we imagine what that circumstance means to my life, to my abundance, to my well being. It all has to do with overlooking that well being can never be interrupted and, and looks like this moment. In other words, even the insanity that we imagine and we project onto some imagined future, well being's still present. And so, noticing the option of getting caught up in the stories and I mean, when we're in that space, have you noticed mind is like a hydra? You cut off one head, bless you. You cut off one head and three more heads grow. You cut off another head and seven more heads grow. Our minds, this means that means this. If I can't do this, then this is what's going to happen. And oh no, and then I'm not going to be able to do this, and I'm not going to be able to express myself. And then if I can't express myself, then I'm just going to end up with a shopping cart on the street. And I'm just going to have to move to Detroit or I don't know. The mind go crazy. All kinds of concepts. But to notice, and so it's really great to notice mind doing its thing and then body being such a sweet servant all these years to the mind in the sense of our biochemistry, our feeling, our emotional body, the stress, the sweat, the hot flashes, the agita, the the anxiety, you know, the anxiety of not knowing if we're going to have the capacity to meet or face whatever we imagined is the threat, whatever we imagine is going to appear. What am I gonna do? What's gonna happen? Oh Lord, have mercy! The sky is falling. Yeah, sky is falling. But to notice, oh, okay, let me stop. If you have like a seat, take a seat, lie down on the bed, And then allow all of those thoughts to be here as they are. In other words, when we're caught up in the thought, we're also looking for more thoughts to try to solve the thought, solve that problem. And again, that's trying to solve a problem with the same consciousness that created the problem. Innocent, but we're overlooking that we could already relax and rest as solution or rest as fulfillment, as what we imagine the solution is going to give us. Isn't that such a sweet gift? And that's where we notice the awake. Awake, allow everything to be as it is. Awake as love. It's love that allows all to be as it is. Mind to be as it is, body to be as it is, circumstance to be as it is. And in that, such permission for all of it to self release. We also recognize its non solid nature or its fluid nature, all in flux. It's like a circumstance arises and we take a snapshot, a shot of that circumstance and think, this is what it is. Not recognizing, oh, it's just like this for a moment. It's moving. Sands of time are moving. The dream is flowing. And what is that? Is it the Bible that says, this too shall pass? This too is already passing. This too is passing. It's never actually parked. There's no parking lot for anything to park. Moving, endlessly moving, endlessly. You know, like when you looked in a kaleidoscope and you turn and it's just endlessly glorious. Meeting phenomena from the space of aware, loving intelligence that you are, that is yours already, right? As you sit. Oh my goodness. And this is where the medicine can be such a gift. Medicine for a lot of people in integration sessions that I give have a profound experience of meeting life as like this alive, ever moving kaleidoscope, a possibility. And that's what the medicines do. The medicines allow us, give us permission to recognize that we're always tripping. This moment is ayahuasca. This moment is Iboga. This moment is 5-MeO-DMT. This moment is Yopahuasca. This moment is all of that shit, all of the beloveds. There's a moment, just as this moment is. Mind, the greatest psychedelic to ever exist. One of the definitions of a psychedelic is to imagine something that's not there. Who does that better than mind? Who does that better than mind? We believe a thought, and then we see a whole imagined future. And we're being yelled at, we're yelling at someone, we're leaving the country, and not to say that any of that is invalid, and not at all saying any of that's invalid. Uh, and but it's wondrous to notice all the thoughts that come up. Yeah. Anyone want to speak to that or have anything you'd like to ask around that or share around that? Awake as love now. Okay, awesome.
So I have been Making friends with mice recently.
Making friends with mice. All right, Cinderella.
I know. I moved to lions and I thought I was going to be Pocahontas in real life, but I'm Cinderella too.
I love that.
But long story short, I would hear the scratching on the floor and like the jumping in the cabinets. And at first, I've never had an encounter with a mouse until now.
It's a lucky life.
I know, it's wild. Um, Growing up, I had like my hockey equipment in the shed and it got like eaten up by mice, but I've never actually like
Oh
seen
wow.
one unless it's like already dead on the side of the trail or whatever. So I it was interesting because like in my mind, I had this whole rabbit hole of like it just sounded so scary.
Yeah.
And then I worked up this courage to open up the cabinet and there the mouse was, just like I was just so in love. I'm like, this is what's
Such a
been
little
scaring me and terrifying
sweetie.
me. And so every night now and morning, I open up the cabinet and I'm like, I love you so much. So they're kind of my friends now.
I love that.
But it was kind of amazing too how like my mind went somewhere with that,
Yes.
and it had nothing to do with the mice at all.
Right. I love that. And your willingness to open the cover, to face the fear, right? Yay. So beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Aw. I just pictured you make little dresses for. I don't know if you're at that space yet. Okay. Start an Instagram channel. Little furniture. Like they do with the hamsters. So cute. Oh wow.
And I know their little path and their little trail, and it is trippy to watch them. And I don't know if it's the lighting, but like
Yeah.
when I watch them move, it's just like, and I can't even keep up with like their rhythm.
They're
Like
like
it's
flashing in and
so,
out of reality,
yeah,
like
it's so
phasing in and out of
fascinating.
existence. I love it.
But this might also be what happens because as a result of me being off grid and just having so much more like just space to be with
Like
what is.
nature everywhere.
I know. Very fruitful.
I love it. So many options. So sweet. So sweet. Your own little National Geographic moment. It's amazing what reveals itself when we're willing to face, when we're willing to meet, when we're willing to be with, when we're willing to allow. What we thought was, oh, it's not that at all. What we thought was, oh, it's not that at all. What we thought was sadness, oh, not that at all. What we thought was terror, oh, not that at all. What we thought was blah, oh, not that at all. Mm, so sweet. We're so conditioned to imagine our story is what it is. And it's just not. It's not. Awake as love, the essence of non duality. It's so funny, there's never been anyone who's been non dual. There's never been a non dual teacher, there's never been a non dual teaching. So, absolutely, what is, it's never been forgotten, never been remembered, never fallen apart never put back together. Nonduality is not Humpty Dumpty. And completely Humpty Dumpty. Inseparable. All we've ever experienced is non-duality. Even as mind has such permission to assume a duality, or a triality, or a quadrality, or a cinquedality. Our everyday, plain ass cracker awareness is the essence of non duality, is this that has never been separate. Sometimes we imagine and we get on the spiritual path that we're going to pop into a vaster awareness of who we are. And then we're going to live as this like giant awareness, walking around. There's elements of that. And again, if we are imagining something new appearing, that's a good clue that whatever appears as new also gonna disappear. Non-conceptual states have their place, but they come and go. Expansive awareness sensations have their place, but they come and go. A popping open has its place, but it comes and goes. Are you aware now? Yes, you are. Plain, everyday, ordinary awareness. That doesn't change. Have you noticed? It's what everything appears in. All that happy, all the serotonin, all the dopamine. Dopamine, dopamine, serotonin, dopamine, dopamine. Sierra, I was at this retreat once where they had all the men say dopamine, dopamine, all the ladies say serotonin. I was like, Lord, have mercy. I think it was a retreat with the gentleman who wrote that book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. Men are from Mars and women have a penis. No. That's so great. These dualistic terms. Amazing, these terms, these concepts. So wondrous. Such poetry. As we get familiar with what's here, not evoking what's here, not hoping what's here stays, not realizing what's here, not awakening to what's here. All of that has to do with the story of oneself. That's when we imagine our spiritual journey as something personal. It's not personal. This is the sweet invitation of Nisargadatta and Ramana Maharshi of just question, who are you? You know, does anything else hold? If you're willing to see that in this moment, no thought here, no mind here. Yes.
Today I was really kind of getting into where you've usually, or you often have said, says, I'm not moved by appearances, therefore appearances move, or something like that.
Yeah, I love that one. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. So what whose I am is not moved by the appearance.
Not move one bit.
Yeah. Therefore they move.
Yeah. What a refuge. A refuge that dissolves into pure stability. At first, it seems like a refuge because we imagine we're in a war torn dress that somebody threw out. We imagine that we're our minds and that the world is our mind. Or that in imagining we're our minds, we imagine we're a thing and that the world is a thing and that is a thing and that this is a thing and then a thing and then a thing and thing. And then to take a rest, let's say in meditation or support of a substance, we're like, ah, ah, finally. Ah, ah. And eyes roll back in the head and so wondrous, such permission slips. Mm.
That's where thanks comes from.
Say more.
Love doing its thing.
Love better be doing its thing, okay?
His
Yes.
thanks.
I love that where thanks come from, totally.
Love doing his thing.
His thing. All right,
Thanks.
Jim, and not your mama sad song. There's a quote that I love. My dear friend Deborah Silverman says it all the time. It's actually at the end of her book. And the quote says, "You know why we live forever? Do you know why we live forever? Because it takes that long to say thank you." Isn't that so sweet? Sorry? Oh, wow. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's so sweet. You know how come we live forever? Because it takes that long to say thank you. Immeasurably blessed this that is every facet of this. Mm. Awake as love, the essence of non duality. Full permission to relax completely as you are. Every cell, every bone, every thought, every ancestor, every circumstance, every world. You are indeed already resting as awareness. Never have not been resting as awareness. You are indeed already awake as love. Never have not been awake as love. Even with all the complexities of a human life, whatever we have an allegiance to, whatever stories, whatever cobwebs, even, yes, even now, with all that appears to be unresolved, with all that appears to be unseen, I love how Candace O'Denver speaks to the immediacy of the benefit that arises. Immediate benefit. And noticing that we're completely at rest. And maybe allowing the rest. As we allow the rest, we get really familiar with, oh, rest is. All is at rest. All appearance, all points of view, all phenomena resting equally on this pristine beingness that you are. The beingness that the mice is. And the mycelium is. Anyone have a question or want to share something? Maybe something along the lines of, how does this apply to what's happening in the world right now? How does this, like, what's...
How does this apply to what's happening in the world right now?
Could you repeat, please? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
How does this apply to the world right now?
What a great question. I'm glad you asked. What's so interesting, the beloveds that are apparently causing all the ruckus are beloveds who are completely caught up in their minds, completely caught up in their fears, completely caught up in their terrified of losing what they imagine they have. Possessions have never been real. When we imagine that there's real, and we imagine we're real, and that someone else is real that's going to take our shit or condemn us to a life of shame and hell because of all the crazy shit I've already done. I need to keep protecting myself, the momentum. I mean, what a world. War, war, war. Me against them against me. Da 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 da. And so this is how sometimes even beloveds with the most incredible intentions, and boy, because of our beliefs. I mean, we know the quote, the road to hell was paved with good intentions. The road to hell. And that's when we imagine this is what's best for the world. This is what's best for humanity. This is what's best. And all of a sudden, genocide. Oops. All of a sudden, the horrors that ensue. The horrors. And even in our good intention to be against the bad guy and show up as the righteous, as the ones that's going to end it all, and I can't believe they think like that, and we're seething at the mouth. Why are they not noticing the tendency to easily become the very thing you're fighting against? Easily become the one who's now putting people that shouldn't make concentration camps in concentration camps. It's all from the space of infinite loving awareness. All innocent. That's the unconscious aspect. We don't know. We didn't have the tools. We haven't recognized. We do whatever we can to avoid sitting with the overwhelming sense of despair, the overwhelming sense of terror of fear. And that discomfort, when unmet and we don't take responsibility for it, our whole lives exist as a life of displacing that discomfort on others, constantly spewing the trauma, the unaddressed pain, creating more of its kind, creating more of its kind, sowing the seeds of separation and hate and anger and fear and scarcity. The good news is that none of that ever really happens in reality. It doesn't take away from the heartbreak and the but there is no place for these seeds to continue growing. The only place the seeds can grow is if we continue overlooking our option now to rest as awake love. This is where it ends here. It doesn't end this place, this one. What was it that beloved Gandhi said? There is no way to peace. No way to peace. The way to peace is the good intentions that pave the road to hell. There's no way to peace. Peace is the way, was his full quote. There's no way to peace. Peace is the way. And to give ourselves the gift, because it's such a gift, the immediacy of the benefit, as my friend Candace says, immediate benefit. It's such a gift for ourselves. It's such a gift for our nervous system. It's such a gift for our world. It's such a gift for our home. It's such a gift for our relationships. It's such a gift for those we love. It's such a gift to the whole planet to choose the option that's available, just another option, to be the peace now, to be at rest now. This is aligning with an intelligence that's not limited to whatever intelligence we imagine we have or don't have. This is aligning with a power that's not limited to whatever we imagine power we have or don't have, or do I have, or I don't know. Boundless. We align with a freedom beyond all imagination of what freedom is or isn't. And that's pretty valuable, to recognize that energetically we can stop contributing to an atmosphere of war. And that affects the whole planet. There's no planet outside of you. The only place a planet has ever appeared to appear is in the awareness you are. There's no circumstance, global or local, outside of you. And then this is where we get familiar with, oh, I see why some beloved speak of the war is over now. I have a song, the beginning of the lyrics says, nobody's a victim here. The beginning lyric says, your peace isn't dependent on the rest of the world. Yet, the peace of the world is solely up to you. Your peace isn't dependent on the rest of the world. Yet the peace of the world solely up to you. To the degree that you know yourself as peace, get familiar, or even devote your life to the peace. Devote your work to that peace. Devote your words to that peace. Devote your friendships, devote your life force to this peace. Is to the degree that you know peace to be what is now. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way. And you get to be an infinite facet of the diamond that knows its true nature. And no matter where you go, all that's present cannot help but to see itself through you. Without you having to say a word or dress a certain way. You exist as presence of what's real. So I'm just remembering coming back from Peru as a 21-year-old. And it was fascinating. I did two things. I got my first job and I was a phone sex operator. Hey. That's where I had my first spiritual counseling sessions. What a release. And I simultaneously uh, was volunteering for a hospice called Vitas. And uh, it was so beautiful recognizing that this piece of being, this space of being, was such a safe place for people on their deathbeds, for their eyes to meet. I would notice in room with family members and in the innocence of believing our thoughts, projecting our story, the innocence of the ego, anytime they're around any kind of ailment or disease or any kind of death, there's a sense of, is it contagious? You know, innocent. This is the survival of the cellular animals we are. But in meeting that space and recognizing, it's like when you know yourself as awake love, everyone is awake love. Everyone you meet, their true nature, you know that their identity as a body, as a form, is not even a blink in consciousness, not even real. There's no egg whites holding together an apparent solidity. And so it was so sweet to notice in that room, watching these beloveds on there just about to die, and their eyes would search the room, looking, and they look into these eyes and like move across. And then when they would land on the eyes that knows their true nature, they'd stay right there. No matter how fast they were looking around or how all of a sudden it's like, I'm being seen. I'm being seen. The life of me is being seen. The life that knows no opposites. The life that was never born. And there's this sense of safety. It's safe to be here. I don't know who said it, there's a line that I really love that says, there's nothing safer than dying. Dying, there's nothing safer. So sweet. And how do we get familiar with this space that we already are? The moment mind happens, be willing to just notice. I just hear myself saying all the time, hi, mind. When you say hi, mind, you are simultaneously saying, hi, infinite loving stability that I am. Because it's only awareness that sees. The unconditional, non local, non eyeballable seeing of being, non headable seeing of being. Such compassion, uncontrived compassion, loving tsunami of compassion, a flood of compassion for the whole species, for the whole planet. Such permission for the species to annihilate themselves. Such permission for the species to wake up, to notice. Such permission. Wow, completely available as an activated force in the well being of all. And that we discover moment by moment. Some people have a story of once I'm awake, once I'm enlightened, oh, I'm going to be unstoppable. I'm going to do all this, all the things. I'm going to make 1,000 ashrams, and I'm going to have a 300 billion followers on Instagram as the most loving presence in the world, and that's wonderful. And hi, mind. Hi, sweetie. This is a live discovery. And it's seasons. Some beloveds were more action oriented in their waking up and push over the tables in the in the in the churches. Activists awake. Oh, wonderful. Some beloveds sat on a mountain to their last breath and petted a cow and and transformed a whole generation in their silent, genuine stability. And everything in between, we get to discover how is this awake as love show up in my life? Available, available with complete compassion. The preciousness of the human life, the innocence of not noticing that you are believing a thought that isn't true. The main one being a you. While still showing up on Wednesday at the Capitol. Ready to march, bitch. Hey, I'm so excited. And love present. It's so fascinating. Mind does not love. Mind got all kinds of thoughts about itself. You think you're having a thought about somebody else? No, you're just having a thought about you. Just mind having a thought about mind. So innocent. So innocent. But to be willing to, okay, let me get a little curious. How does the joy power of me, how does the space of me, the sky like fulfillment of me meet this moment or see this beloved? So wondrous the option. see what time it is. Ooh, few moments left. Let's see. Lower this volume. Any thoughts, any beliefs, any. This is the moment to just see how real those are, how present they are. I can give Jim a question. He can ask it. But what if nothing gets done? If I'm resting as awareness? Anyone have a question? What if nothing gets done if I'm resting as awareness? What a great question. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking.
What if nothing gets done? Resting is awareness.
What if nothing gets done? Well, the good news is that nothing's already done. If you poke any kind of toothpick in the center, you see that it come out clean. Nothing's already done. Can't escape it. It's done. Something happened. Again, so sweet this available. I kind of want to read something. Jen, would you be willing to pass me that little book right there, the Mahamudra? Let's see what opening a page wants to say. Thank you, love. Mahamudra, Keith Dowman. The mind in itself, thoroughly explored, is like the sky. For a moment, feel into that. When you think of your mind, do you think of it as the sky? Right. You're like, no, I do not. Right. It's like, who knows what's there? Busy. How would you describe the mind? Like a circus carousel. Yes. And always spinning. What else we got? Monkeys at a rave on glow sticks with ecstasy. Okay. Monkeys at a rave with glow sticks on ecstasy. Okay. I bet everybody can relate. I bet everybody can relate. How else do we see mind? Sometimes like a ping pong ball. Sometimes like a ping pong ball. My mind, my mind. It's sometimes like a ping pong ball. Sometimes like a ping pong ball. I love it. Sometimes like a ping pong ball. I just can't, I need to sing it. I can't say it. It's so good. Sometimes like a ping pong ball. so, so Ecolalia. Sometimes like a rainbow. Yay, so sweet. And this is our willingness to explore the option of allowing, sometimes like a ping pong ball, and allowing the monkeys at the rave on ecstasy with the glow sticks, and allowing the endless carousel to be as it is. Because when we're not allowing, we think we're some righteous thing trying to get to stop or getting to chill, but we're just a glow stick. Or we're just a horse on the carousel. Or we're just that ping pong ball. Or the paddle. Or the table. Uneven surface. With a busted paddle and a flat ping pong ball. But to consider the option, all right, let me just test this out. Now, I've heard somebody say once, sometime, that if you just let it be, give it space and give it more space. Okay, like do your ping pong ball forever. All right, horsey on a carousel, you better spin around forever. All right, monkey on ecstasy with a glow stick up your ass, you better do your thing forever. Better go on ahead. We relax, and then we no longer meet mind with mind. Who got a problem with mind? Mind. It's not awareness, it's not you as loving intelligence. Mind always has a problem with mind. That's the way it keeps itself. That's the way it keeps the carousel plugged in. That's why it keeps the country club open. And that's how it keeps the circuit parties happening in the jungle with the bamboons. Yes.
Like, but there. So mine really doesn't want peace. He wants a pacifier.
Okay. Mamá, yo quiero. Mamá, yo quiero. Mamá, 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 yo
That's what
quiero.
I do. That's what I do. I
Yeah.
just give it. Okay, here.
Here you go, beloved.
Have a
Have a little
pacifier.
pacifier.
Chew on that for a while.
Chew on
Or
that.
suck on that, or whatever you want to
Laced with LSD.
Just dip that little pacifier in a bat of LSD. The mind in itself, thoroughly explored, fully allowed to be, is like the sky. Non meditation arrests the dualizing function of mind, and genuine natural perception in the common light of day is untarnished by alluring fictions. The mind inherently pure can never be defiled. Without grasping or releasing mind forms, rest easy. Without grasping or releasing, without needing to change them or fix the thoughts or stop the thoughts. Rest easy. No meditative process exists in unrealized mind, and neither meditator nor object arises in realized mind. Sky as sky can never be objectified. Ooh, I love this beloved. Are they right? Oh my goodness. Likewise, emptiness cannot meditate on emptiness. The unity of metamorphic, multiform perception, like a mixture of milk and water, arises constantly in the taste of pure delight. Nothing to reach for, nothing to push away. All is permeated. The sweet, spacious, vast immediacy of your being sky with sky. not identified as one who is meditating. In that way, showing meditation as indistinguishable from non meditation. In that way, in all situations and at all times, blend with the authentic, unlimited mental sphere of inaction. Sustaining suchness is conventional Mahamudra meditation. Showing meditation as indistinguishable from non meditation. Showing any form, any appearance, all the opposites of something as indistinguishable. Awareness with awareness with awareness, sky with sky with sky. I love the sweet little modern analogy with our phones and the screens. How many lifetimes do we live on these screens? How many experiences, how much information, how much images, images and images of all the flavors, especially if your ass is on TikTok. Lord, all the images, all the appearances. Oh my goodness, there's a beloved from New York who's stranded in Pakistan, who's taken over the whole country. Fascinating storyline. I'm obsessed right now. She's holding press conferences and oh Lord, fascinating. This is happening. Mm. Oh Lord. All the but what's so beautiful is that no matter how many times you think you're seeing a kitten or a waterfall or a puppy or this scene or that appearance or that word or that book or this book or that book or da 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 da. All you're seeing is the screen. You're not really seeing a puppy. You're not really seeing a word. You're not really seeing a still just the screen. Same with awareness as the screen that mind appears and disappears in. No matter how many times you think it's mind or think it's emotions or think it's circumstance or think it's this or think it's that, still just consciousness with consciousness, awareness with awareness, sky with sky. Oh, it seemed like it was a this, but it's really awareness. Oh, it seemed as if this was, oh, it's really awareness. Inseparable. And the word inseparable makes no sense. We do some unthinkable things to each other, all because we think too much. Enslave and kill our sisters and brothers in the name of heaven's bluff. Oh, we lie to protect the lives of our mothers, and we die to protect the wars of our fathers, and we kill to ensure we don't ever face the unknown when that's the only face we've ever known. Where is the space? Where is the freshness for a new horizon to arise in the dream of our species? Gotta trust the unknown before we can hold on to a tomorrow that is promising for all. We think we can own the world when possessions aren't even real. so blind to the abundance of now, our own freedom is all we ever could steal. So we lie to protect the lies of our mothers, and we die to protect the wars of our fathers, and we kill to ensure we don't ever face the unknown when that's the only face we've ever known. Where is the space? Where is the freshness for a new horizon to arise in the dream of our species? Gotta trust the unknown before we can hold on to a tomorrow that is promising for all. There is such value in pulling back from the story of what appears to be unfolding, allowing you to fully exist as an unstoppable force, a trailblazing force of benefit and awake as loveness. Thank you all for this satsang. So honored to be here. Next satsang will be Monday the 24th. Go to Peru to do a Menudo reunion concert. It's going to be so hilarious, so fun. Yay, talk about appearances. And not being moved by them. And I go with my nephew to Machu Picchu, which is going to be so sweet. And Sound Devotee's going to be in Maui, swimming with the turtles. Tomorrow, I know. I love that. Listen, this is what a kaleidoscope. Blessings and blessings. Okay. um, March 22nd to the 25th, 26th to the 28th, 4E retreat in Kauai, using the four elements as a way to turn up the volume of who we truly are in our life of benefit. That's with my dear friend Deborah Silverman. You can see all the information on me, no elements.me.com. No, elementalchallenge.com. Elemental Challenge. Elementalchallenge.com or deborahsilvermanastrology.com. But the other one, Elemental Challenge, is specific to the 4E. And then, I don't know the dates right now. I think it might be May 18th to the 24th. May. Right. I will confirm that. I have a conversation with them actually in 10 minutes. A Costa Rica experience called Remembering Wholeness with at a beautiful space called the Jungle Neighborhood. And I think there's a website, or you Google the Jungle Neighborhood, all their retreats will come up. You can stay in touch if you want to know more info about that one. Can't think of any more. Also connect if you want a private immersion, satsang, 4E, or plant medicine. And I have one more space for private self-realization mentorship. If you want one-on-one coaching on learning how to meet this space as aware intelligence, please connect with me. It'd be my honor, my joy. If you'd like to leave a donation, you can do so in that little blue thing over there or online. Feel free to like and subscribe and share this video. Like if you want to freak somebody out, share this video. Sweet little glitch in that matrix. Thank you.